Content warning. The following video contains discussions of mental health as well as brief mentions of depression. There are also in-depth spoilers for the film Inside Out, so you might want to watch the movie before clicking on this video. Just giving you a heads up. So, last time I recorded a video for the Costume Codex's One Scene for Hope project, and that went over well, so I figured I'd participate in the next assignment/project titled One Scene for Joy, in which several YouTubers discuss a moment or a scene from a piece of media that gives them joy and how they define joy. As confusing as it sounds, I found this project to be both easier than the first, but also harder. On the one hand, I had a much more clearly defined idea of what I wanted the focus of the video to be about. Specifically, I wanted to do an in-depth analysis on animation. But on the other hand, I didn't know what animation I wanted to cover. What animated movie would I talk about? What animated show would I talk about? Which episode? Which scene from that episode, TV show, or movie? There were a litany of things that I could choose from. How could I possibly narrow it down to just one? And then it hit me. I'm doing a video on animation and how it gives me joy, so why not just have the topic of my video be one where joy is literally the main character? So with that, I finally settled on the Pixar film Inside Out. Inside Out tells the story of Riley, an 11-year-old girl who's mostly lived a happy-go-lucky life in Minnesota. Her life is then turned upside down when she and her family move to San Francisco. This leads to Riley's emotions, led by Joy, being thrown out of whack as they try to help her navigate through this confusing time in her life. Unfortunately, the stress of the move is causing sadness to come to the forefront, and after an embarrassing incident at school causes a sad core memory to form in Riley's mind, all of which had been happy up until now, Joy and sadness are ejected from headquarters. This leaves fear, disgust, and anger to try to guide Riley while Joy and sadness try to find their way back. Joy's primary goal, true to her name, is to keep a smile on Riley's face, even as everything seems to be going wrong during the move. Meanwhile, fear keeps Riley safe, disgust prevents Riley from being poisoned physically or socially, and anger prevents Riley from being treated unfairly. Yet, none of the emotions seem to know what role sadness plays in Riley's life. During their journey back to headquarters, Joy still can't seem to figure it out, even after witnessing sadness comfort a sad Bing Bong when Joy was unable to do so earlier. At one point, Joy and Bing Bong are trapped in the memory dump, where they will eventually fade away and be lost forever. While stranded in the memory dump, Joy begins to reminisce about Riley's core memories, lamenting that all she wanted was for Riley to be happy. After breaking down and sobbing, Joy picks up a core memory of what appears to be Riley celebrating a hockey game with her parents and teammates. And this is where Joy has her big epiphany. Upon further inspection, she discovers that the memory, which she always thought was a happy one, actually involved Riley being sad because she missed the winning shot of the game. Her sadness caused her parents to reach out to console her with the help of Riley's teammates. After trying to keep sadness in the background, Joy now realizes how essential she is to Riley's mental well-being. As Joy puts it, they came to help because of sadness. This revelation provides us with the context for our scene for Joy. The scene in question occurs in the film's climax, where Riley returns home after almost running away and falling into depression. Then, when she returns home, Joy gives sadness Riley's happy core memories, turning them into sad ones. As the memories begin flooding back, we see Riley break into tears. She finally lets her parents know how sad she is and how much she misses living in Minnesota. And just like at the hockey game, seeing their daughter in distress causes Riley's parents to comfort her, while they also admit to feeling homesick. It sounds odd given that this is an emotional tear-jerking scene, But the thing that makes it a joyful one is what it represents for our three core main characters. Starting with Riley, who for most of the movie has had to put on a brave face for her parents and pretend that the move isn't affecting her. She finally gets a much needed outlet to vent her feelings, and the solace that she finds in knowing her parents feel the same is what allows her to begin the healing process. Then there's Joy, who gets to demonstrate how much faith and newfound appreciation she has for Sadness by entrusting her with Riley's core memories and working together on the control console. And finally, there's Sadness, who, on top of getting the approval of the other emotions that she's been longing for most of the movie, has also found her true purpose as Riley's sense of empathy and compassion. If Inside Out taught me anything, it's that joy and sadness are not separate. They're connected. Neither emotion has significance without the other. The film's thesis is that life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it can be quite grueling and hard. And that's okay, because even in those awful times of deep despair, we can find our greatest joy. There's a certain sense of liberation to be found in viewing sorrow not as something to be avoided, but to be embraced. We can't run away from sadness or block it out, but we can choose to accept it and realize that in that sadness, we can still find happiness. And that might just be the greatest joy of all.